Hi everyone, welcome to the final segment of our Yunnan sourcing impression series cakes. Here we have the 2015 impression cake. This was produced from Lincang and Jing Gu material from several different villages, both spring and autumn 2015. It's a 357 gram cake and it's under $30. And yeah, so this is the most recent Yunnan sourcing impression that we made. I may make one this year, just kind of depends on the material and the prices and everything. But yeah, this is, here you've got all the animals in the zodiac and their corresponding bagua symbol. At least that's what I think this particular symbol is, and the characters. So yeah, but, let's drink it up and give it a go. This is an intentionally created impression cake, unlike the 2014 that we drank just before this one. And you know, it was an attempt to create something from blended material that would be strong and that would have character and complexity, and something that would age well, something that could compete with a Xiaguan tea or a Menghai tea as an alternative that would be just as affordable, if not more affordable than those teas, and would perform as well or better. And I feel strongly that that these teas are. Of course, the style and everything of the teas of the impression series isn't going to be the same as the Menghai and the Dai cakes, but I think there is good or better in their own right, for sure. I'm going to drink the wash here. Pour it in here and cool it down a little bit. Just nice and sweet, real honey. There's not a lot of bitterness kicking in yet. The thing that's really nice about this tea, being both a Lincang tea and a Jing Gu tea blended together from not just one but several different villages, is that it has the character of each. I find that Jing Gu tea tends to be a little more, a little softer, a little more sweet. Jing Gu teas can also have bitterness too, but they tend to be really full, having a honey-like character. A lot of people compare Jing Gu teas and Yiwu teas, and in fact, back in the day, and I think I'm sure it's still done, Jing Gu teas were taken to Yiwu and sold as Yiwu teas. So, whereas Lincang tends to be the stronger tea, more bitterness, more astringency, more of that kind of cooling taste. And then when you blend them together, you get all of that, and you get it all happening at the same time. So that's makes it a very interesting experience. Pour in here, it's still too hot. You don't want to burn your mouth or your throat. Creamy. There's a real cooling taste. I think that's the Lincang tea, and then there's this kind of sweet, kind of almost, I don't want to say syrupy, but it's a thickness that kind of just hangs out on the tongue that's really sweet. And there is a real nice, almost perfume, like a natural spice or perfume smell and taste to the tea, but it's very subtle. Nice body, there's a little meatiness to it. Not quite as thick as the 2014 impression that we just had. It does have body and it does have a nice viscosity, but it's not quite as kind of like meaty in the mouth or some kind of, heavy But again, the aging is a factor too. This is much less aged. This is strictly a 2015 tea, both spring and autumn. So it's not as well aged as the Impression, the 2014, which is 2011 to 2014 teas. This is the youngest of the Impression series. Let's cool it down a little bit here. Get this next steeping going. And again, this is tea, from established plantation teas. Some we call yefang cha, which can be, plantation or bushes, but they're just not managed, And again, this is, no spray teas, very clean, very pure, feels good in the body. I don't find that these teas, even though they're, maybe not from old tea trees, they don't upset the stomach, and they're not harsh, and they don't make the tongue, or the throat, constrict or feel numb or anything like that. That's one thing that every time I drink teas, I'm always looking for, so looking to avoid. This tea is just a real powerhouse. It's really opening up now in this kind of medium steepings here. I'm getting a lot of kind of mouth watering. And the chachi, this is probably, of all the teas, the chachi is probably the strongest and the most focus of this tea. And again, I like to do a high pour. I'm just trying to get the tea to cool down. And I'm not using a strainer, so I just dump a little bit there. This is a really good way. Just a small gaiwan, these little 60 milliliter gaiwans, and 2 cups, and you can just, one gaiwan fills the cup, and then you can pour back and forth to cool it down. And you can really get through a lot of teas like this if you want to, quickly drink a lot of teas. This is definitely the way to do it. Nice aroma. Just very, almost, how would you say? I want to say rum-like. It does have a little bit of that, sugar cane type sweetness, especially when you smell the top of the lid of the gaiwan. Yeah, it does have a kind of almost like a grape kind of taste to it. There's a little bit of the astringency creeping in now. That's, the Lincang teas and the Jing Gu teas have a fair amount of astringency. The bitterness is still there. It's faded a little bit. We're getting a real sweet, kind of nice sweet spot. You can also play with different brewing methods too. This one's still quite young, and it's definitely an ager. If you want to drink it now, you can. If you're not a fan of, that real heavy bitterness and astringency, that kind of vegetal aspect of the sheng pu-erh, you can always use less leaf, shorter steeping times. You can use cooler water. I mean, I boiled this water at 100 and it's in a silver teapot, so it's very hot. And I like to wring out all of the stuff in the tea and really experience all aspects of it. But that doesn't mean that a cooler, lower temperature water brewing coax out some more subtle flavors if you find that the strength of the bitterness and astringency is distracting to you. Again, it's kind of up to you how you want to brew it and what you want to get out of these teas. I recommend this tea as one for aging, perhaps more so than the 2012 and 2014 Impressions, simply because those are actually more aged. But again, I think this tea would be one where it would be affordable. You could get a tong of it and set it aside, or maybe a tong plus 1 cake and keep 1 cake out and have it be, your cake to drink. Every once in a while, pull it out and sample it, and then you know how that tong is aging in whatever condition that you're putting it in. So, that's the goal of the Impression series is to create an affordable cake, a good cake, one that's enjoyable and drinkable, but one that also you don't, if a cake is $150 or $300 for, for 200 grams or 250 grams, or some of these really hyper expensive cakes that are coming out now that are young, well, buying a tong of those teas, for $2,000-$3,000, that's not within the realm of most people's tea budget. So that's why I created teas like this, so that you have teas that you can age, that you can afford to age and put away, and yeah, I can spend $150 or $200 to buy a tong of one of these teas. But most people aren't going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 or even $1,000. So I feel that these teas, big bang for the buck for sure. But more than that, they're good teas, and they're teas that I would not hesitate to drink at any time, aged or not. So let's give this one more. If you want one to age, yeah, definitely pick this one up. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to us down here, and we're going to keep making videos. Thanks.